A couple of days before the end, the big boss himself arrived, the one who sponsored the whole thing. And I went up to him and explained that, yeah, I'm a real athlete and I need to compete. I told him I traveled all this way. They just wanted to pay me for showing up and then send me on my way back home. I spoke with the senior guy there. They agreed and gave me a fight. It turned out to be my first fight. I won it quite successfully by knockout. Then they called me. Basically, they invited me back every year. And the second moment was when I wanted to, there was a UFC champion at the time. And so I went overseas to sign. They promised they would sign me. So here I am. We were living in a basement down there, in a basement, you know. It took a long time to get it signed. 6 months went by. They promised every month. They kept promising for a long time. And like, you're young and you want to perform. You're always in such a rush and time just flies by. I have spent exactly 6 months living here in America. They didn't sign anything. They were dragging it out. They seem to like it. I don't know why. And they say they enjoy the fights. Everyone watches, but there are always some issues, some kind of politics. I decided to go home. I've already bought a ticket. It's been half a year. I had to leave anyway. I said I was going home. And that's exactly when I arrived. Then we made our way over to New York to get some sparring in. See, I've had the chance to spar with many of the sport's elite fighters. And in those moments, I realized that they saw my sparring sessions, everyone saw them, and the video went viral. And right after that, they called me the very next day. They said, "We're signing you, don't leave." They said. I replied, "What do you mean, don't leave? I've been stuck here for half a year." So anyway, I took off. They signed me, and that's what I remember. Because it's really hard to be all alone there for 6 months, you know, when you've just arrived in America for the first time. Yeah, living in a basement, you don't know any English. It was such a tough time. You're bound to get exhausted.
Well, what is your primary piece of advice for those who are struggling to find a way through such incredibly difficult moments?
You simply have to find a way to tough it out. A person, you know, gets used to everything. You just need to show some patience. Just show it. And that's it. I think it makes things easier later on.
A video posted recently went totally viral.
It doesn't happen without that, brother. You can't really realize your potential without going through a tough time. Everyone has their struggles. You don't become a champion without that, or you don't complete the journey. I've never seen anyone in my life who just got some for nothing, you know. You are trying regardless, you really must do something about it. And the main thing is to keep on moving forward and to take some kind of action. The secret to success. What secret are you talking about? Bro, I really don't know. Well, the secret is believing in the Almighty. Just do your work from the heart sincerely. Yes, you need to have your own sincere approach. Yes, and I don't know about posting everything you do. You just need to do everything from the heart, sincerely. Yeah.
What does professional sport mean to you? Do you romanticize it at all?
He just asked me a question like, is sport the meaning of life for you? That's what it's all about.
In any case, we are facing a very similar question right now. Like what does sport mean to you on a personal level? Is it just a simple activity, or do you tend to romanticize it in some way?
Look, it's just a sport, man. For me, it's really just a sport. I'm only training because it's just a hobby. It's not like I am...
That sport is my life.
It's my life. Why should I have to give my all for it? I won't give up. I'll rely on my character and see it through to the end. It's not like that for me. I just have this approach.
Oh, you were going by the name BCBJJ, and I assume that the JJ part is essentially just a shorthand for Jiu-Jitsu, right? I'm curious to hear about your first experience with Jiu-Jitsu, specifically the moment you first encountered grappling. I mean, pure traditional Jiu-Jitsu grappling.
Well, when I realized I was going to transition from amateur to professional MMA, I started training here in Dagestan. At that time, I was in the 5th or 7th grade at school. My striking was good, but when I started, it was definitely weak. Not everyone could do it back then. And my friend was training here in Makachkala, this guy Maga, Tiger Maga. So I started training with him, learning little by little, because it was something new for us back then. Yeah, for sure. If you're going into MMA, you absolutely have to know some defense. After that, I started training. I trained a lot. I remember there was Focus Murat. I went to him and we went to different gyms. A lot of gyms were popping up back then. And I had to, even though I didn't like it, to be honest, wrestling. That moment, like you've been fighting, standing up your whole life, and then you have to get in there and grapple. It definitely uses different muscles. So to get any kind of result, honestly, I had to try. But I managed. Turns out, I noticed that after a couple of training sessions there, I started to get the hang of things. Results started coming in. And when I got to America, I was also wrestling and competing a little bit.
So tell me, Sidi, okay, if you will be so kind. Yusuf, what do you personally consider to be the greatest achievement of your life? Yes, I am very interested to hear your answer.
What, I 20-something, what?
Of everything you've achieved in your life, what do you consider the most significant? What is the most valuable, the greatest thing you've accomplished? Maya?
I don't know, man. I don't know what I've really achieved. I haven't even thought about it myself. I wouldn't say that I have, honestly. I don't think so. It's tough. Honestly, I don't feel like I've achieved anything. I was just doing some things, and it just so happened that I ended up in America, and that's it. Things just kind of went that way with sports. I haven't really done anything to achieve that. I really don't know. Maybe if I were to take the belt for myself, that would be an achievement in itself. 7 years have passed, and to come back and win something, I think that's when I could say that I haven't lost my touch. I'm curious. I really want to test myself. You go to the gym, you train with the guys, with your brothers, and it seems fine, but you don't know how it's actually going to be. Yeah, how it will be in the arena. It seems like I've got it down. Just a couple of days ago, one of the guys was wrestling. What was I doing with him? I have to see it, and I say I don't think it's possible. They say 7 years have passed. I think I told Hassan, not everyone can pull that off. You definitely won't be able to go 7 years without hitting the gym. So train every day. That don't look at me and think you can skip the gym just because I did. Honestly, I hardly ever stepped foot inside a gym. I spent my time playing a bit of rugby and some football, but I wouldn't say I did much actual gym training.
Although Hassan is in phenomenal shape right now, he most likely competed for us at ABCJA as well.
He's clearly showing off. As soon as he walked into the gym, he was there in a t-shirt, flexing his muscles. I said, those muscles don't mean a thing to me, nothing at all. I told him, let's go in now, we'll see later. He loves to brag. Even if I ask him, he won't admit it. I have the video. I need to watch it now. He'll post it.
So why don't you just tell me then? If you were to look back on your entire life, Numa, what would you say is the single most significant mistake that you have ever actually committed?
I honestly have no idea. I never make those kinds of errors. I really don't know, my brother. What exactly was the mistake? I don't think it was a mistake, but the right approach. I also have something regarding sports. Yes, mistake. Are you referring to this question too, or?
Feel free to delve as deeply as you want. We can talk about sports or the complexities of life.
I don't want to get philosophical about life. Well, let's take a moment to talk about sports. I mean, the fundamental mistake was that we simply had the wrong approach to weight cutting and our overall training. With every passing year, you really start to understand how you could have done things much easier or how you could have done them significantly better so that you might have been able to stay in the sport for much longer without sacrificing your long-term health. It could have been done. I'm different now. I believe my overall approach was completely different. You don't realize that when you're facing an opponent in the gym and you just start acting mindlessly. When you go to training camps and there were a lot of trips, that's when you slowly start catching up, gaining a little experience here and there, and it all starts to come together. Just look at Dagestan now. How many kids are training there? Almost 100,000 to 150,000 kids are training in freestyle wrestling alone. Can you imagine? It's huge. Tell me, out of them, how many good athletes do you think will come out of this, right? Just a handful, wouldn't you say? If handled the right way, there's real talent, good material. Guide them properly, brother, and it adds up. 50 to 80% could easily be great athletes, but here they just force kids to cut weight. That's the wrong approach. Results are everything in amateurs. His even brother Kassan, back when he was an amateur, I tell him that losing's fine. What matters to me is that you have a good result when you reach the age you're supposed to. Right now in the amateur ranks, you got a certificate, a medal. That's not it. That's just experience. You win there, you lose there, you just keep moving forward. So I clearly remember back when I was competing as an amateur, I was ranked as the #1. But I had a record of something like 52 wins and 48 losses. I was basically winning all the time back then. We had this specialized school. We trained 3 times a day there, while others trained every other day. But we had a better foundation, and a lot of it was because of that. It was a sports school. Mm-hmm. We won every time we competed. Eventually, my wins meant nothing. I wanted to lose, to take second, just to feel it. You need that. Second and third are different. When Kassan was small, I told him, Kut, it's okay. You must learn to lose. You have to go through all of it. That's once you've grown up. When you really need results, that's when you have to win and deliver. As they break down, many suffer injuries, hernias. There's so much that happens at the start. By 2022, people are already quitting the sport. It's Sej was 22, 25, when you really need to start. Maybe it's not even too late, right? Because of that, I think the most important thing isn't just grinding away. If you find it and take time to think, I believe you can achieve a great deal.
Yeah, tell me, so have you ever reached a point where you were so fed up with your sport that you couldn't bring yourself to step into the gym and you just had absolutely no desire to put in the work or train?
It happened when, like I said, I had 4 fights in the last year. Sometimes when you train a lot with constant training camps and workouts, like it gets old and you need to reset, get away and take a break. It happens sometimes, even when I've been through that. You don't want to go to the gym, but you have to prepare. You have to, no matter what. I could go a month or a month and a half without going to the gym, just training outside, doing some things in the fresh air. And she helped me. When you've been at it since you were a kid, how do you force yourself to keep going to the gym? Like it or not, you're going to get sick of it. And especially back then, you see, we had 2 or 3 training sessions. I don't think that's necessary. Training 3 times a day is completely pointless. Even 4 times, you see, we wouldn't even dry off. No need. Twice a day at most. The main thing is to train in the morning. Otherwise, it's just overkill and gets tiring. You can't keep up and your head just doesn't work.
Скажи, pursuing, let's say, a championship title, right? On this path to the championship title. There were definitely things you had to sacrifice, or perhaps even things you lost along the way. What do you think was the most important thing you lost while striving for and chasing this title?
Let us go ahead and try that one more time.
On the long road to the championship title, right?
Exactly
you have to make certain sacrifices, don't you? Give up something along the way, yeah? What do you consider the most important and valuable thing you have had to lose on your journey to this title?